Good morning. I feel like things are awkward. Shane is off today to help me because today's the day that I go get my other tube out of my ear. And I feel like, how I put this? Um, I feel like when I go live, I feel like I don't want anybody around because I talk about mental health. And sometimes when I talk about mental health and people that know me listen, it embarrasses me. I don't know why. It embarrasses me because uh, a lot of people think to talk about mental health, it's embarrassing because sometimes it can be embarrassing to think the things that you think. Like you don't want to say what you're thinking out loud because if you say what you're thinking out loud, you look like you're a mental patient. You know what I'm saying? And so like it's like when I go live and I'm by myself, I feel like even though it's like I feel like it's just me and y'all. Like that's it. I don't feel like strangers see me or my family sees me. And that's so far from the truth because when you put something out on social media, the whole world can see you and the whole world can cast judgment about what they see. And it's just hard for me to I guess when you admit that you have mental problems, I don't like want to embarrass my family and them think, oh my gosh, mom or Judy is out there talking about mental health and saying she's mental. And then people, I don't know. It's just how I feel. It's just hard for me to. It's hard for me to talk about. I don't know. I don't like Shane to know that I'm weak. That I'm a train wreck because he'll use it against me. If he knows I'm a train wreck, he'll use it against me. Okay, today is going to be kind of a different kind of live. I think I'm not really sure where this is going. I have a little bit of ear problems this morning, so I feel kind of funny. And like I said, Shane's here, and I have a lot on my mind because if you haven't caught my lives or you're new here, in July I had tubes put in my ears because I kept having double ear infections, and the tubes have caused a lot of problems. My ears feel full of fluid. I feel off balance at times. I'm having trouble hearing. It's just been complications after complications with my ears. And because I went to medical school and I'm a doctor, I decided that the tubes were causing the problem. Okay. I decided that. And I begged the doctor to take the tubes out of my ears because I feel like that might be the problems because I wasn't like this prior to surgery. And so I'm like, it's got to be these tubes that are clogging up my ears. And so I'm going to start getting ready. So I asked him to take the tubes out. I had new makeup to take the tubes out of my ears. And so he did last Thursday. What is today? Monday? Was it Thursday? I don't even remember. And I ended up in the hospital because my equilibrium was so, it was bad. The whole world was spinning 500 miles an hour no matter what I did. If I closed my eyes, the world was still spinning. And I just was like, and I started vomiting and I couldn't stop vomiting. And I think what I was having was either a panic attack or an anxiety attack. My whole body was convulsing. Like I was like this and I couldn't breathe. And I don't know if you've ever had a panic attack before, but I don't know. I don't even know if it was a panic attack. I thought I was having a seizure. Let's just put it that way. I didn't know what was going on. But I think because I couldn't get my balance, everything was just bad. And so I ended up in the hospital. But the bad thing is they only took out one tube. So today I have to go get the other tube out and I'm nervous. I have anxiety about, I don't want that to happen to me again. But after consulting with my doctor, they've determined that this dizzy spell had nothing to do with me taking the tube out. It had to do with what they do is when they take your tube out, it's painful. So they put numbing medicine in your ear. It's almost like a gel. And they put numbing medicine in your ear. And when they first put it in your ear, you are like this. It's a weird feeling, but it goes away quick. But they determined that the numbing medicine went down my ear into the back of my ear canal and caused the crystals in my ear to get all janked up, which caused the vertigo and all that. So today I get to go get this tube out with no numbing medicine. Therefore, my anxiety is high. I don't know what it's going to feel like. I mean, obviously it's going to be painful. So Shane is driving me because in case my equilibrium gets off again. I've already taken some meclizine this morning just in case, and I'm going to take some nausea medicine before I leave just in case all that gets all janked up again. But I'm going to try to do it with no pain medicine. He said he can put the pain medicine back in, the numbing medicine back in my ear. But, and he said, in the time that he's had this practice, that there's only been 2 patients that this has ever happened to, and I'd have to be one of them. So he thinks if he puts the numbing medicine in my ear, it's not going to happen again. Does he know that I have red hair? And what that means is people that have, you can ask any redheaded person. You can ask any redheaded person. Did you hear me? For some reason, we have issues when it comes, like for example, I'm hard to stick. I have problems getting numb at the dentist. Like if something's going to happen, it's going to happen to me when it's dealing with something medical. It's like our bodies are very sensitive. I also, got, what year? 2013, I got toxic and ended up having to get on dialysis from medicine because they found out that I was a very fast metabolizer. And so it's just, and a doctor told me one time he goes, every single redhead that I've ever dealt with is sensitive to medicine. So that's what I feel. So y'all pray for me today as I go and have this procedure with no pain medicine, no numbing medicine. I'm going to have to be tough. My biggest fear is not so much the pain. My biggest, the last time he did it, I was laying back in the chair I wasn't laying all the way down. I was just kind of like sitting up. And when he did it and I had numbing medicine and I still could feel it and I jerked. And my biggest fear is that he's going to do it and I'm going to jerk and then he's going to rupture my eardrum. That's what I'm scared of. That's what I'm mostly scared of. Okay. I want to talk to y'all about something. I was going to talk about heaven and hell today, but I don't know if I'm going to do it. I'll talk about it a little bit. And I'm not preaching to you, so don't get scared. There's no preaching here. I'm the type of person that I don't expect you to believe what I believe. I don't push my beliefs upon you. I tell you what I believe, but that don't mean that I expect you to believe just like me. I'm not the one that's going to get in a debate. I'm not a debater. I respect how you feel, and I'm not going, well, she's going straight to hell. She's a sinner. That's not me. I am, how do I put it? And a lot of people that I'm going to end up talking about it. A lot of people that are Christians, they don't believe what I believe. Like they believe that you are to call out people's sin. You're to pull them away from the church and call them like, let's just say you're at church and you know someone is having an affair. Okay? You saw them out at a restaurant and you saw that guy is having an affair. There's people that believe that you're supposed to go get that guy, pull him off to the side, and call his sin out to him. And then if he doesn't change, you're supposed to get someone else in the church and go talk to him again. And there's like biblical things to back that up. I don't know. And listen, I hope what I say doesn't, I hope you don't judge me. Like, I don't want to judge you about how you feel, but I don't want you to judge me either. I don't want you to go, oh, God, I didn't know she felt like that. Like, I don't, but I'm going to tell you how I feel. I just feel like that's wrong. And I know that you could probably give me scripture to prove that that's right. And I don't believe it. I believe that when you call other people's sin out, I feel like you're playing with fire. I mean, now, if it's your best friend and you know that she's having an affair or something like that, that's one thing. Go do, what are you doing? Don't do that. But it just, I feel like personally, if you scream and holler at someone, and when I say scream and holler at someone, I feel like when you are calling out someone's sin, I feel like you're trying to play God. That's just me personally. I feel like if someone's having an affair and they're caught up in sin, because that's living in sin, because you're doing it every day. I guess I try to get myself in that person's shoes that's actually having an affair. Because I've been there. And if someone would have come up to me and said something, what would I have done? Well, I'm a people pleaser, so it would have bothered me. I would have probably cried, and because I know it's a sin, and I know that I'm not doing right. I'm doing my whole family wrong. I know that. So I probably would be upset, and I would think about it. But would I stop? Well, unless you've walked in the shoes of the person who's caught up in chaos, because it's chaos. I just feel like I feel like the approach for me, if someone would come up, if I was in the middle of it, if someone would come up to me and say, "Hey, are you okay? Are you okay?" I probably would have said, "No, I'm not. What what can I do to help you?" And maybe I would have opened up, I don't know. But I feel like that approach and going, if you need something, I'm here. If you need something, I'm here. And maybe share with me your testimony. I think I would have listened. But just coming up and telling me I'm going to hell, I don't know that. You know what I mean? I don't know. But I think when you're caught up in it, it's horrible. It is a horrible place to be. And if you're a person that's having an affair right now, you're probably bawling your eyes out listening to me say this, because it is an emotional roller coaster. And it's almost like you can't get out because it's so much fun. Isn't that a train wreck to say that? It is. It is fun because that person, it's like you're sneaky, it's fun because you're hiding. It's like they treat you fantastic. Well, of course, because you're not living with them and you're not paying bills with them. You don't have kids with them. Of course it's great. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what do you expect? Like it's not reality. You have to know that. It's not love. Okay. That is not love. If you're caught up in an affair, it is not love. It is check your facts. Because everybody thinks the grass is greener on the other side, and you're caught up in this world of non-reality. It's not reality. Reality is your husband's are train wrecks or your wife is a train wreck. Because when you're living with someone every day and you're paying bills with them and you have kids with them and you're dealing with finances with them and you're all that, it's hard. That's reality. That's reality. You and your spouse don't think alike. He may be one way with money, you may be another way with money, or he may discipline the kids one way and you're disciplining the kids another way. And when you're caught up in an affair and you're sneaking off and it's, oh, you're so in love and everything is just, he treats me so good. When you're caught up in that, it's like, girlfriend, slap yourself in the head because it's not reality. You're caught up. You're caught up in a non-reality relationship. Love is not a feeling. It's not the goo goo gaga. If you think, oh my God, this man treats me so good, he brings me presents or whatever, like all that crap. I've never been treated so good in my life. Girl, you're caught up in a disaster. You're fixing to ruin your life. Just because when you get married to him, it's not it's not the same. Mm-mm. I didn't even know I was going to say any of this today. What I was going to talk about is heaven and hell. I don't know how I got on affair, but my brain goes like that sometimes. But like, I'm only speaking of myself. Okay. I'm only speaking of myself. When I was young, I can't recall one time praying with my mother. I cannot call one time my mother telling me about Christianity or Jesus. I can't recall one time my mother ever taking me to church. I grew up not really having God as the center of my family. My mom didn't. I cannot remember my mom. I don't even know if my mom owned a Bible. I don't know if like. And it's the weirdest. Like now that my mom's no longer here, I sit and think about it because my grandmother, my mom's mom, was what we called Mother Mary. Very, very religious, very, very strict, very go to church every time the doors are open. Every word that came out of her mouth was about God. And she was a firm believer. I mean, we didn't, as children, we couldn't go pick the garden on Sundays. We couldn't swim in the pond on Sundays because that was a day of rest. We went to church. We came home. We listened to Christian music on Sundays. My grandmother was strict as a strict. And I'm like, why did I like, why, how can my grandmother raise her kids in church? And my grandparents had 3 kids, my aunt, my uncle, and my mother. And all 3 kids were train wrecks. My mother loved, I mean, I don't think she was an alcoholic, but my mom loved to party. I mean, we had, as a young girl, we had parties at our house nonstop. My uncle was an alcoholic, had a lot of addiction, drugs and other things. My mom's sister was a lesbian. It's like, how did that come out of my grandmother? Like, what the heck? And you know what's so sad is, you may be like me. Do you have questions now that you're older and you really sit and think about your family? Don't you wish that you knew the answer? Like my mom and my grandmother are passed away. My grandfather's passed away. My aunt's passed away. Like everyone's passed away. And I can't go, did Mama raise y'all in church? How did y'all get such a train wreck? Like, Like, how does this Mother Mary over here like have 3 kids that are just train wrecks? Like, how did that happen? And like sometimes I just wished that I would have asked my mom, why did you never pray with us? Why did you never take us to church? Why did you never talk to us about God? Do you believe? Are you a believer? Like, I have no clue. I have no clue. Mm-mm. And sometimes I think, well, maybe my grandmother became a believer after my aunts and uncles left the house. But then I'm like, no, because I know my great grandmother. My great grandmother was the same way as my grandmother. And I know that because I can remember my grandmother telling me she was a teenager or young when she accepted Christ. So, and her brothers, my grandmother's brothers, were saints. They were all saints. Like, and I may have told you this before, but my great grandmother asked to be put in she was like, I want to go to the nursing home. I'm not living with y'all. I'm going to the nursing home. That's how she was. And I remember my whole entire life, my great grandmother lived at the nursing home and we used to go visit. I want you to know this is how my grandmother and she had 3 brothers. This is how close they were. Okay. Each one of them visited my great grandmother. They picked a day of the week. And all 3 brothers and so 4 kids, like my grandmother would go on Mondays and Tuesdays. And then my grandmother's brother would go on Wednesdays. And then her other brother would go Thursdays. And then and I was like, what would it be like to have that support system? Because here I am with Larry. I have no support system at all. It's me and Shane. Like, I don't have somebody going, hey, you go Tuesday and Thursdays and I'll go Monday and Wednesdays. I'm like, I cannot imagine having a support system like that.
There's a farmer running around here, others sit around here.
See, this is why I can't.
The airport lights. So.
Let me tell y'all what he did to me last night. I am dead asleep. Okay, asleep. He wakes me up and says, I hear music playing.
I did.
And I'm like, why are you waking me? And then when he woke up and heard music playing, he has to turn on all the lights. And I said, because I'm mean. I am mean. I am mean. When I'm sick, I'm mean. And when you wake me up, I am mean as a snake. Okay. Other than that, I'm very sweet.
That's a lie.
But I said, why do you have to wake me up and turn on the airport lights? Because you hear music playing. Why can't you just get out of the bed and go turn the music off? Why do you have to wake me up? And so he goes, listen, do you hear it? I said, no, I hear no music. I hear it, Judy. I hear the music playing.
I even got up and went to try to find
So then he leaves the airport lights on and gets up and is walking around the house to find the music playing. There's no, well, I guess I was just hearing things. Well, your dadgum woke me up and turned on the airport lights because you hear music and there's no music playing. And then I couldn't go back to sleep. So I'm mad at him this morning. There must have been some ringing in his ear or some crap.
I'm home. That's what it is. You aggravate me. I got ringing in my ear. All right.
Anyway, I can't imagine having a support system like that. I mean, I don't even get a phone call. Like in the 8 years that I've kept Larry. I've never gotten a phone call. Hey, can I come keep him and let y'all go somewhere?
Good luck with that.
I don't get. I mean, my grandmother had the best support system ever, and I'm like, how did she? How did they? How did her brothers end up like that? But maybe if it was my mom or dad, maybe I would have had a support. No, I didn't have a support system. My mom was sick. Well, I guess I did. When my mom was sick, I had to deal with Larry, and I dealt with my mom's finances, and I dealt with bringing my mom medicine every time. Like I would bring her. My mom lived an hour away from me, and I was the one who Larry couldn't handle it. And so I had to do everything. And I ended up becoming power of attorney over my mom because Larry, y'all know how he is. He couldn't do it. And so it was me. But what I'm getting at is I sit here and go, if my mother was brought up in church, why did she never tell me about Jesus? Why did my mother never pray with me? Why did my mom never teach me what my grandmother taught her? I have no clue. And I don't know why. I guess I didn't have a close enough relationship with God myself when my mom was alive for me to go, why didn't you, what the heck? You just want me to go to hell? But I sit here and think about my grandmother and religion. And you can tell me how it happened with you. But when I was young, you learn about heaven and hell. You learn that hell is you burn in hell the rest of your life. Or you can go to the streets of gold where there's no sin. Everything's perfect. There's angels coming to get you. So as a child, well, the last thing you want to do is burn in hell, right? You're like, what do I have to do? God, I don't want to burn in hell. Heck, that sounds painful. No, I am not burning in hell. And so it's almost like, let's ask Shane. Come here.
What?
I'm going to ask you.
Oh, Lord.
Because he's one of those that was raised by Mother Mary, and he's a train wreck.
Raised by Mother Mary and what?
Okay, come here. Let's see what you say.
What?
I have to see your face.
You
Come have a seat with me.
I don't want to.
He's blurry because I can't figure out how to get off this. But stay right there. See if they can see your face. Scoot over some. Okay. I know you were raised to go to church. You went to church every Sunday, right?
Sunday and Wednesday, just about.
Okay. Shane grew up going to church every Sunday and Wednesday. When you were little and you learned about heaven and hell, were you that kid that went, oh God, I don't want to burn in hell. That freaking sounds like it's going to be painful. And you're like, God, I want to go to heaven because it's pretty and it's the streets of gold. I don't want to burn in hell. So were you that kid that was like, what do I need to do not to burn in hell? And they're like, you need to ask Jesus to come into your heart. Okay, dear Heavenly Father, Jesus, come into my heart because I don't want to burn in hell. Were you taught that? Or did you interpret Christianity that way?
Nah, I say no. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it got beat into my head.
It was beating my head too.
So, but I mean, my mother taught Sunday school my whole life. I was in church every Sunday, Wednesday, and then when I got kicked out of public school, I had to go to a Christian academy. So, I mean, I had church every Wednesday again.
Your poor mother.
At lunchtime. So, I mean,
Well, I mean, like,
they was trying to pour the good Lord in me. That's the only thing I can tell you.
I just remember, like, because I called my grandmother Mother Mary, and I feel like your mother was kind of Mother Mary.
Mm-hmm.
But like, what did you ever sit and think about what hell was like? Like, is it okay? Like, for example, do you actually, okay, if you're dead and your body is, okay, this is going deep, but if your body is dead, okay, and you go under 6 foot under and you're in a casket and your body rots, but your soul goes to heaven or hell, does your soul burn? I mean, is there something physically to burn? It's too early for. I just was thinking about it. I'm like, okay.
I think it's an emotional and it's this feeling, kind of like what we have now. We have emotions and feelings, and it's all the I say this. I don't know if it's right. It's the afterlife of, you're going to.
I mean, do you think when you go to hell, you're actually going to burn 24 hours a day the rest of your life because you are a non-believer? Like, your soul's just going to sit there and you're going to be in pain there. Well, you don't have a life.
Is that what the Bible says?
It talks about hell, like in Revelations.
So when it says in Revelations, what does it tell you in Revelations?
I'd have to snap GPT it.
Okay. Well, you're good at snap GTP, and so won't you?
But
I think this is what happens.
okay, you tell me.
I think your soul splits.
Splits.
The good side goes to the good Lord that you will not even remember, and then the bad side of you.
Does the Bible say that?
When you're a bad person, or not a bad person, a non-believer or whatever, you're going to go to hell. You're going to experience hell like you was living on earth.
Like
That's
in
it.
body form?
Spiritual form. Your body's gone, Judy.
I know, but like, okay.
You're not, when you
Give
rise,
me a
when you rise from
picture.
the dead.
Give me a picture of what you think hell is going to be like. Like, okay, so
What the Bible describes.
but tell me.
Fire and brimstone.
But do you think you're going to feel pain?
Yeah, I think that. I think that you're gonna ride the emotional roller coaster ride.
What do you think that pain looks like?
Judy, it could be rape, it could be murder, it could be all these things that happens. That's what I mean. He adds it in the Bible for a reason.
Okay, so if you know if you're not a believer and you're gonna burn in hell, okay,
this is the reason why you don't mix politics and religion, because religion gets so deep and can get so far, and people can take it so far out of content. Because being a believer or not a believer, that's a personal choice that somebody makes at the end of the day. I do feel like when I die, my spiritual soul, body, or whatever is going to experience heaven or hell.
What are you going? Do you think you're going to
heaven?
Well,
no better way of living that I live today, and no more cussing that you make me have to cuss all the time. I'm probably gonna die and go to hell like him.
But does that not scare the bejesus out of you to think you're gonna burn the rest of your life?
I'm here on earth now.
I know, but if you mentally sit here and think about the rest of your soul going to hell, and you're gonna burn and you're gonna get stabbed, or you're gonna get beat up the rest of your life.
I've been beat up before.
Do you not think about your like you're
ain't no future. The future's gone.
But listen, you're one. You are very good. I do believe you're very businesslike, and you know how you think about
when it comes to finances, you think about your future. So in your Christianity life, how do you not think about your future?
I do. That's why I have to say my prayers every night. And me and God has to talk in the woods when I get away from you, because I have got to try to get my mental state back right, because after all the cussing and the hollering and the screaming and acting a fool, the 9 months that I'm living on earth with you, me and God has to have 3 months to sort this out. and you interrupt my 3 months.
But I think in my head, as a child, I got manipulated when it came to heaven and hell. I feel like I got manipulated, or maybe I did it to myself. But when you hear about heaven and hell as a child, well, the last thing you want to do is burn in hell. So you're automatically going to choose Christianity. But are you a true Christian? No, you're just scared to death you're going to go to hell.
All right, let's back up. Let's back up a little. So at a point in time in your life when you accepted Jesus,
yeah,
you didn't fully understand the whole concept of the 10 Commandments. There's very few people that understands the whole concept of Christianity. I don't care what believer you are. I don't care if you're a Mormon, Church of Christ, or whatever. It says in the Bible, all born sinners. You have to repent of your sins. Even though that you said that you're a Christian, you still sin every day. And the first person that says they don't sin every day, you probably need to sit down and talk to God, because you're lying to yourself and everybody around you. Nobody lives the perfect life. This is the reason why that you ask for forgiveness. You try your best to live the best that you can. Me, in my personal opinion, if you believe in God and you're a Christian or whatever faith that you may be, if you ask for forgiveness, you say your prayers, you try to do right, I do believe you're the Christian or the faith of whatever religion that you are.
But I believe living in sin and sinning is two different things. Living in sin, to me, is repeating the same sin over and over and over. Because when you're asking for forgiveness, you're just like, Lord, forgive me because I don't want to go to hell. But you're living in sin when you repeat your sin every single day.
What did I say? If you're living in sins and you ask for forgiveness, if you're just asking for forgiveness, God knows if you're just asking for forgiveness. Oh, please.
But when you repeat the same sin over and over and over,
Judy,
that's living in sin.
Yes, it is. But sometimes we have mental capacities that it's hard to get over. That's just like
That's just a bad habit.
Judy, that's just like a drunk or anybody else. It's an addiction. It's a bad habit. It's whatever. And you fall to those things because they are comfort for you. You find comfort in that somewhere down the road. That's just like a firebug. He goes around and sets fires to everything, burns everybody's stuff down. That is something. That is a sin. I mean, we're not here to burn people out of homes and businesses and whatever else. It's a comfort thing. Somebody likes something like that. There's people like that all over the world. It doesn't matter what it is. As long as you're asking for forgiveness and you're trying to fix yourself. No different than a drunk or an addict. Hey, all right, he hits a dry spell for 6 months and all of a sudden falls off, and he asks for forgiveness, and he's trying to help himself. But if he's sitting over there saying, God, please forgive me. I'm going to drink this. I'm going to drink 3 more Budweiser and I'm done for the night. You know, that's yeah. Like I said, politics and religion is not something that you really want to discuss because it gets so far and so deep, regardless of what your belief is.
Well, you
so
think if you have a guy at work and you know he's having an affair, and you're like, Lord, such and such is having an affair, do you feel like you should go confront him?
That is a no, and that is a negatory. I worry about what's on County Road
No.
820,
Here we go.
1225. It's not none of my business. I don't know the
But you know
I don't
what?
know the circumstances. I don't care to know the circumstances. That is not my life. Look, in the Bible, you need to worry about yourself. You need to worry
Well,
about your life.
In the
You don't worry
Bible,
about other people's
it
life.
talks about, as a Christian, you're to call out people's, like, you're to go to the sinner and say, I don't know how you're supposed to say it, but like it talks about, as a fellow believer, that
I might find it somewhere in our day-to-day activity, or find some kind of comfort zone that says, hey, Billy, kind of,
you jacking up.
you know what you fixing to lose. Those are conversations that sometimes, most of the time, us men will already go ahead and say, hey, you know what you're doing?
You better straighten it up.
So, there's ways to approach it, but at the end of the day, I'm not walking a mile in his shoes.
Right, that's how I feel.
I'm not living in his house. I don't know the circumstances. It's not affecting me. It's not affecting my paycheck. It may affect my mental to say, hey, you got to quit messing with Susie, son. She falling in love or something. I don't know. That's none of my business. At the end of the day, it's none of my business. I don't have to answer for that. So I'm going to tell you one more time. 820 County Road 1225.
I'm done. He says that all the time. He said that, and it gets on my nerves now.
You can't worry about other people.
It drives me crazy because he says it to me every day.
Tell
1225, Judy. 1225. 820.
Understand that.
1225. He says it to me all the time.
Because at the end of the day, you need to worry about what's where.
What? Who are you, Dr. Hennick? Dr. Hennick.
Good thing I ain't never met her. I think me and her get along.
Interesting conversation. I feel like just basically it's like as a child you're kind of scared into not believing because the thought of going to hell, it sounds horrible. And I think I did it to my kids. I remember seeing my kids down and talking to them about, God and like heaven and hell. And I don't know if my kids remember it, but I remember having that hard conversation with my kids because the last thing I wanted was my kids to go to hell. And like, even as adults, when I see my kids doing wrong, I'm like, I don't want them to go to hell. But like death, like when someone dies, you think about funerals. Have you ever went to a funeral and they said, poor Johnny lived in addiction his whole life, and unfortunately he's burning in hell right now. You don't say, no one, when someone actually dies, no one preaches the truth. If there's a heaven and hell and you're going to hell, if you're a non-believer, I guess I'm judging saying this person with addiction, but I'm talking about, let's just say, I don't want to use addiction. Let's just say, oh gosh, Judy died and she struggled with the eating disorder and never could overcome gluttony because gluttony is a sin. And unfortunately, Judy struggled every single day with gluttony, every single day. So therefore, she was a good old girl. She tried, but she's in hell right now because she never overcome gluttony. have you ever been to a funeral that like said that? No, because what happens is we don't know. I mean, and you don't know. I could have become I don't know. I could have asked for forgiveness. I'm getting deep. I'm getting deep. What I'm getting at, I mean, you can have an atheist. Okay. I'm just going to speak of my own family. My brother is a non-believer of God. Okay. He is so far from, he can't, if you mention Christianity to him, he will flip his lid and run the other way. So if he was to die and we had a funeral and we know for a fact that he is a non-believer, would the funeral be and talk about my brother burning in hell? Well, unfortunately, Bobby was a non-believer. And you know what the Bible says, there's heaven and hell. And unfortunately, your dad and your ex-husband and your brother, unfortunately, he's burning in hell right now. So why do we preach while we're here on earth about being a Christian, but when it's actually time for a funeral and you know that there's a non-believer, why don't we as Christians say that? And I feel like it's because of grief. Like the last thing we would want is if my brother passed away and he didn't believe in God, the last thing I would want for, let's just say, my nephews, their dad, is to go, your dad is burning in hell right now. Well, how do you deal with life with knowing your loved one's in hell? I mean, you would never get over it. But you can get over death when you go, she's in a better place than me. Mom's not suffering anymore. She's up there with Papa and Meemaw. She's in a better place than I am. No more suffering. That's how we deal with death, because death is such sadness. But the only way for us to really get over it is to know that they're in a better place. And I'm like, well, then why do we preach Christianity if I know I'm going deep today. It just feels real confusing. And I've been thinking about it lately, and I've just been thinking about my own self. And am I in the right line that I need to be in? And when it comes to my own sins and things that I struggle with, I can't, no matter how much I try, I'll get on Weight Watchers and I'll do good and I'll lose 15 pounds and I'll praise myself and go, y'all, I've lost 15 pounds. I'll be so proud of myself. And I'll think, I got this. I got this. I've overcome this addiction and worrying about the sinful, like what I look like and all this stuff. And then all of a sudden I fall off the wagon and I'm like, this is what an addict's like. This is exactly what someone with drug addiction, this is what they go through. I go through the same exact thing as someone that fights. Where are you going?
So let me explain something.
Oh, Lord, he's coming back.
About drug addiction. So I'm drug addicted on hunting season, right? Well, if y'all don't know me, I'm a huge deer. Anyway, I love it, even though I don't get to kill a whole lot. I love it. Love watching Judy tell you right now. I have a wonderful place that I get to see a lot of deer. Martin Luther King weekend. Today, I take vacation every single year this whole week. I'm addicted to something. Judy wants to set a doctor's appointment. My loving self. I taken my wife to the doctor. Show y'all what I missed this morning because I came home.
This is my fault.
It is her fault because she knows every single year. Me and her being together, like I don't know how long now. I'm never at home this week. So this has got to be one of the biggest 4 points I've ever seen in my life. So I don't know if y'all can see it. I want to try to blow it up.
I caused him to miss a deer. Go in the middle.
Stop.
Middle of. You gotta
I
get in the
see
middle.
what I'm doing. You see what I missed this morning? Even though I got it on camera, y'all see what I missed? So there is an addiction. Oh, all them daggum airport lights. There you go. That's got to be the biggest 4 point I've ever seen in my life. Anyway, just saying.
Look what you're getting. You're getting this big old point.
God, please help me. I got to say some prayers and ask for some forgiveness right now.
Look, we could end up in the ER today. Okay.
Hey, you're on your own if you are. I ain't wasting my whole vacation if you lay up there and think you're going to get vacation laid up in a hospital. I ain't even got jack even hooked to you when I get up there. You just laying up there in the bed. You can lay in the bed here. Anyway, just saying. You gonna get ready sometime today. We got things to do today.
You see what I deal with?
Somebody
So what I was getting at is when it comes to my own sin,
she does plenty of that.
it is like a daily, it's like, okay, y'all, if you could see me, I'm like, okay, I'm joining Weight Watchers. It's $11 a month. I can do this. I've done it before. I can do this. I go and pay $11 and I do good for like several months. And I'm like, I've lost 15 pounds. Woo, 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 woo. And then I think Christmas came or I got sick or something. And then, oh, my computer's about to die. Hang on. And then I fall off the wagon. And it game on. And this is what happens. Hang on. This is what happened. I'm being completely honest. When I went to Trader Joe's, I found the best oat milk I've ever drank in my life, okay? And no one's here. This is confession time. I, Judy, confess to this. The best oat milk I've ever tasted in my life, okay? So this is what I do. I go get a coffee cup about this big, and I pour the milk in there. And we have these little, Larry, make it long story short, I had to go spend a bunch of money for Larry before he went into the nursing home. They told me to buy a bunch of snacks. Shane and I have snacks from the floor to the ceiling in Larry's room, okay? Like a gazillion snacks. Larry's not eating them.
Guess who is though?
So this is what happens. There was these little packages of Oreos, the golden ones and the regular ones. And then there was chocolate chip cookies. Well, I don't want to cause rats in the house because we have so many snacks in Larry's bedroom and Larry's refused to eat them. So I've been little bit by time dumping them in our snack drawer. Well, I poured that milk, that delicious, best oat milk I've ever tasted in my life, into this coffee cup. I open up. The packages have 2 Oreos in them. I open up one package. I dump the Oreos in the milk. I open up 2 packages. I dump the Oreos in the milk. I open up 3. I'm like, okay, 6 Oreos. Okay, I'm just going to eat 6 Oreos. I dump them in the milk. Okay. I walk to the table and I get a spoon.
Hey, that ain't nothing.
What? I'm still talking. the best dumped Oreo cookies in this oat milk you've ever tasted in your life. So then the addiction starts. And I'm like, oh my gosh, those were the best Oreos I've ever had in my life with this oat milk. So then what do? I go back to the snack drawer and I get 6 more. And the next thing you know, I've ate 12 Oreos with milk. And then I feel like I want to vomit because I'm sick. So then you would think, oh, she's not going to do that again because she got sick, right? That's not how addiction works. Addiction doesn't work like that, because the next day I'm like, those Oreo and milk. Oh my God, they're so good. I forgot that they made me sick. All I could think about was, dear Jesus, those Oreos and oatmeal tasted delicious. So then I do it a second day. And then I do it a third day. And then I do it a fourth day. And then the next thing you know, I'm like, I'm fat. I might as well just stop this Weight Watchers app. I'm paying $11 for no reason. I'm out of control. I'm fat as crap. I'm depressed. I hate my life. And here we go.
So 4 days later, we're still eating oatmeals, Oreos, and all that. And then I come home yesterday. What is all over our counter? I ain't been home in like 3 days.
I made cookies. So it's a train
What kind
wreck.
of cookies do you make?
But this is how I
Wait a
get.
minute, what kind of cookies do you make?
What do you mean?
What kind of cookies do you make?
Why are you looking at them?
You didn't make no sugar-free cookies, did you?
So then, because this is what happens with my addiction. Okay. I'm surprised I'm not diabetic. I get on a sugar kick. I want raw cookie dough. Okay. That's what I crave. Raw cookie dough. Because I get on this sugar kick and I'm like, I gotta have sugar. I'm shaking. It's like I'm an alcoholic. And I'm shaking all over going, I gotta have sugar. And I go in there and I make cookies and I eat the raw cookie dough. And then I'm like, oh, I feel sick. It is an addiction that makes me mentally sick. It is an emotional roller coaster. And when it comes to heaven and hell, my addiction with food and this yo-yoing is going to make me burn in hell. So you would think I would go, oh, I need to get control of this. I've been to therapy. I have put in hard work and I can't beat it. I don't know why. So I don't know what I weigh right now, but if I had to guess, all 15 pounds have been put back on. Woo! So then it's like start over. It is an emotional roller coaster that drains me because it is every day, all day long. Because when I can't just eat normal. I am extreme one way or extreme the other. I'm either eating 15 Oreos all day long in chocolate and milk, or I'm not eating at all. I'm either over. I can't find the middle. You would think that I would work on being in the middle, where Judy, just eat 1 or 2 Oreos. I can't. I have an addiction problem to sugar. I can't, I'm not strong enough to go in there and dunk 2 Oreos in milk and stop. I'm not strong enough. I'm that addict that if I drink 1, I'm going to get drunk. I'm the same exact way. And that's one reason I don't cast judgment. Because I'm wrapped up in my own crap. How can I judge you and tell you to believe like me when I'm a straight up train wreck myself? It is a daily, it's exhausting. It's exhausting. And if there's something that causes you to yo-yo like me, and I'm not even talking about, maybe yours has nothing to do with food. Maybe it's pornography, or maybe it's affairs, or maybe it's, I don't know what it is. But I guarantee you're probably something that is out of control. If you don't have something that's out of control and you've got total balance in your life, girl, come on to my live and tell me how you do it, because I can't figure it out. And if I know that this is a sin and it's going to send me to hell and I'm going to burn in hell the rest of my life, why wouldn't I do the right thing? That's the $1 million question. I go to counseling every week. I'm on medication. Like I've done it ain't working. Because when you're caught up in addiction, it's a daily walk. You're never just, I don't know, it's like you're never just totally healed of it. It's a daily walk. You have good days and bad days, and your bad days lead you to a really bad, dark road. And part of dancing, let's start with this. You have a choice. You can sit it out and let those 5 days destroy you and rob you of your joy, rob you of your happiness, rob you of all the things that addiction robs me of. Or I can talk about it. And I can go, y'all, I went and got oat milk from Trader Joe's, the best oat milk of my life. And I became a train wreck. I was the alcoholic that was in the kitchen by herself, just dunking freaking Oreos like there was no tomorrow. Dancing is going, I had a couple of days of total train wreck. I ate probably at least 12 to 14 Oreos in one sitting. Made myself totally sick where I wanted to vomit, but I didn't make myself throw up. That's an improvement. I didn't make myself sick, okay? Dancing is understanding life is a daily walk. And when you think about heaven and hell, it seems very confusing when you get really deep into thought with it. I believe that everybody has their own personal relationship with God. I don't know what yours looks like. I know what mine looks like. And I know that God made my brain and he understands my brain. Dancing is taking a moment of clarity. One foot in front of the other. Not everyone likes to talk about things that are really hard. It's embarrassing to admit that I'm out of control dunking Oreos. It's embarrassing. I have to make a joke out of it because it's straight up embarrassing. If someone had a camera on me in my kitchen and watched me when I have these addiction like craziness, they would probably go, she's going for more. Oh my gosh, she's going to make herself sick. That's what addiction looks like. But you have the choice. Sitting it out is consuming yourself day after day and not realizing I had bad days, but today's a new day. And today, I'm going to dance. What does dance look like for me today? I'm going to ask God for strength. I'm going to ask for forgiveness. I'm going to put one foot in front of the other. And I'm going to have a little bit of mercy on myself to know that I'm not perfect. I'm a human being. And unfortunately, we have sinful ways. I love you guys. I know the conversation was deep with heaven and hell. Sometimes I just think about it. Did I put on? I didn't even put on blush today. Hang on just a second. Shane got me all distracted. I knew I looked kind of pale. Oh, while I'm putting on my blush, let me show y'all something real quick. This really good friend of mine made me some jewelry that I'm thinking about selling on my website. I'm going to show you some of it real quick. Don't let me forget to do the other cheek. Okay. Let me show you why this is special. Okay, this is the necklace and earrings. Can you see what's in that? It's chicken feathers. So she's talking about making me some jewelry and then on my website from my animals. See the chicken feather? Right. I'll show you a couple of other things that she made. I think this is beautiful. She made these earrings and this necklace. Oh, shoot. Hang on. She made this bracelet. Okay. And this bracelet will be made out of Leroy's hair. So she took Leroy's, or she took horse hair from this one to show me what she was doing. But I would get, as Leroy molts, like when he molts this winter, this summer, he'll lose his coat. And I will take his hair, and she will make these bracelets out of Leroy's hair. And she made these earrings to go with it. And it'll be, and look, there's peacocks in them. But it will be from my animals. And it just, obviously I won't have a huge stock because there's so much hair that Leroy would have. But she also made this. And this is like something that you could hang from your rearview mirror. This would be out of Leroy's hair. This is horse hair. But she made little charms to go with it. And this right here is horse hair. So it would be Leroy's hair. And it goes on like a jacket, a zipper. It goes on there. And like she made this keychain. Let's see if you can see it. So this would be flowers from Sneed's Farmhouse. And she would make a keychain from actual flowers that are here on Sneed's Farmhouse. So it's just some ideas that she shared with me. She gave all this to me the other day. She had it. She made it for me for my birthday and never got the opportunity. Oh, let me show you these. I don't know where the other one is right now. But see these cute little earrings that were made from my chicken feathers? Or not my chicken, but they will be. These are her feathers. But she wanted to give me ideas on what she can do. So this spring, when my chickens start molting to get their summer coat in, I'm going to be collecting their, I'll have Dexter's hair from his tail, Dee Dee's hair. So there'll be stuff made out of traces, and there'll be custom jewelry made from the animals that live at Sneed's farmhouse. I love that. She's very talented. So if you have a favorite animal at Sneed's farmhouse, and you're interested in custom jewelry, let me just send me an email or private message me what you would want as far as what animal, so I can write your name down and I can write what animal. That way I can, if there's a certain chicken that you like or something like that, then I can start saving them for you. It wouldn't be till spring when they start molting, but I can save it for you. I love you guys. I'll let you know how I do from my ears. You have a choice. You can sit it out or you can dance, and I hope you dance. I'll see you guys later. Bye.